Just for the record, I wasn't stroking nothing of yours. I want to be clear about that.
Whatever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight, man?
Kind of tired, kind of bored. I woke up. I took a nap earlier, and I woke up because it was storming, and the lightning struck the river.
Oh.
So it was literally in my backyard. But I woke up to this flash and then this loud kaboom right as my eyes were opening.
I've heard that can be horrible. It can come up through your air conditioning duct.
That's what I've heard. But it's not a pond, it's a river. So my air conditioning duct that goes to the river is probably okay.
All right, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
You know, moving water takes the lightning with it, see?
Oh, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure that's how that science works.
It just travels downriver. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it makes no sense, but it makes a lot of sense. Today, actually, as of right now, it is my 30th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
I've been married 30 years.
Congratulations, and my sympathies to Lady Monkey.
Yeah, no shit. I've only been alive for 48.
You're pretty old.
2/3 of my life I've been married, and happily so, I'd like to say. And she'll be up in a little while, and then I'll go see her. And there won't be any humping, but there might be some snuggling. Just saying. Jack.
Monkey.
In news we knew was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump got his mugshot taken yesterday.
Yeah, while you were asleep, and that scared me.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh shit, I forgot that was happening. He didn't get shot or anything, did he? I don't know if you watched the Tucker interview with him. We're not going to watch it. I just don't think there's enough to react to there. But if you guys have watched it, there's a part where Tucker's like, okay, they tried to impeach you. They tried to arrest you. And he goes, isn't the next step trying to kill you? And he's not wrong.
No, we've been worried about this for a while.
Yeah, I'm not saying, hey, somebody please go. No, I don't want it to happen. But
absolutely not.
We know their goal is to keep him from running for president in 2024. And nothing
if he gets these trials delayed. Oof. There's a lot of nut jobs out there.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. And several of them are prosecutors.
Yeah, and others are willing participants with Trump derangement syndrome that are more than happy to act on the suggestions of others.
The nonsense that's gone on with it. I mean, looking at this Fulton County one, we read through quite a bit of the indictment. Down in the bottom right corner of this on your screen right now, these are the mugshots that have been taken of all the people that are indicted so far. And that's Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows is on here, and this is just true because he called some people and asked for some phone numbers for the president. He's like, hey, could you give me Rathesberger? I don't even know who all he supposedly called because I forget, but it's in the indictment. Could we get some contact information so the president can call him? And they indicted his ass for that.
Yep. And Jenna Ellis in the top right, that was one of his lawyers. Same with Rudy Giuliani there.
Mm-hmm. Same with Sidney Powell, who's the far left in the middle.
Yeah, these are lawyers. They gave legal advice. Isn't that what lawyers are supposed to do?
Yes, it's exactly what they're supposed to do.
This is pretty disgusting.
He called the Steelers QB. Look, I forget who he called. I went with a name I knew because what is it, Rathesberger there in the former AG or whatever he was in Georgia. I went with Ben Roethlisberger. Shut up. I like football. Anyhow,
somebody get raped or
fuck you, god damn it. Yeah, probably not the right person to call in this case.
No, I mean, maybe the Clintons would call him for something.
Hey, just stay out of a bar bathroom and you're okay. AOC just giving you a hint there. Part of the evidence against Donald Trump, I mean, one of the things that showed evidence of conspiracy is literally that the fucker watched TV and tweeted that he watched it, and it was amazing. That was part of their evidence.
So fucking dumb.
That was furtherance of a conspiracy. This is such a bunch of bullshit. And seriously, look, I know that Trump has, a Secret Service. I hope that they're paying attention, because I don't want Tucker to be right, but my mind, like you said, we've talked about this before. They're getting to where the only thing they have left is to actually take him out.
Yeah, and I won't put it past these lunatics.
Stoka, thank you so very much. Garbage the Cat says, hello, monkey. That is very, very kind. Garbage the Cat, I love that Twitter account. If you guys aren't following it, have you seen that one?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Garbage, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his exact name. The kitty cat. He is the most stoic looking. He looks like he should be in a movie as the wise old kitty cat that other animals come to for advice.
Yeah, like kittens will go to him and seek out a quest from him.
Yes, exactly. Silver, thank you so much for re-upping your membership. Says happy anniversary to you and Lady Monkey. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. She deserves it a lot more than me. My life is easy with her. Her life is, well, what it is with me. But Jack, as I was thinking about this, getting ready for the show, I was reminded of Alexander Hamilton.
I was going to say, who's Alexander?
He's the guy that
salamander.
He's the guy that my fucked up brain went to. No, Alexander Hamilton.
So he's friends with the Brendan Roethlisberger.
Yes, Alexander. There was a moment when people thought he was going to run for president, and there were parties involved who didn't want him to run for president, and so they went digging. Yeah, they went digging through his personals, and they find out that he's been giving this guy money, a lot of money, for years. And if you watch the play, the three guys that confront him are not the guys who actually confronted him in real life. That's just a thing they did so they didn't have to introduce a whole bunch more characters. Happens in biopic kind of stuff a lot, Jack.
Yeah, they consolidate several people into one.
In the play, it's Jefferson, Madison, and Burr. It wasn't them. But anyway, so they go digging through his papers and they find he's made these payments, and they're like, you don't make enough money for this. You've been stealing, and this is probably bribery. And Alexander, being Alexander, he's like, I'll just tell my side of the story and people will be okay with it. So he writes the famous Reynolds Papers, where he comes out and what he actually was doing was paying this man. Alexander had been having an affair
with this dude.
No, with the dude's wife.
Oh,
and the dude finds out about it, and he's like, "Look, you can keep fucking her, but you got to pay me." Basically, turned his wife into a whore.
Oh well, like you do.
Yeah. So
this guy was Andrew Tate.
Yes.
Or another apex alpha predator.
He comes out and he just admits it all. Alexander writes the Reynolds paper and just, hey, this is it. And everybody backs off the legal stuff. But his chances of ever running for office again are dead.
I don't know. Andrew Jackson was president. His wife was a bigamist.
I mean, the things, it's a matter of what's known at the time.
Yeah.
And like in this case, you have the man coming out and admitting in 1800, admitting you were cheating on your wife was pretty much the end. Even if everybody knew you were doing it, as long as nobody admitted it, you were fine. And the reason that I'm looking at what they've done to Trump, and it almost seems like they were trying to do that same thing. Like, look, we're looking into this. You better not run. And Trump's like, fuck you.
It's amazing how squeaky clean Trump really is. Because usually people with that kind of money and power have some real dirty found shit on the guy. Yeah, he cheated on his wife. Nobody cares. He's done that with all his wives. So it looks like that they're going old school politics. We talked about this yesterday with some of these politicians who think it's like 1980. Some of these fuckers think it's still 1980. And that would have,
if you were a politician who cheated on your wife, that would have sank your presidential chances back in 1980. But these days, after Billy Boy, nobody gives a shit. So they're like, hey, we're looking into you. And then the New York indictment comes down. And what happened, Jack? His poll numbers shot up.
Yeah. I really think the Democrats don't understand Trump's base at all, and they're very confused by everything.
Yeah.
They really think this shit's going to work.
And so then we get the first Jack Smith indictment, and his polls shoot up again. And then we get the addition to that indictment, and there's a little bump. Then we get the second Jack Smith, third overall indictment. They go up again. And then Fani drops her bullshit. And they've gone up again. And now the mugshot, which, by the way, Trump, God bless you, they are already selling merch. They had merch ready as soon as all they had to do was plug in the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Brilliant.
This is going to be a huge financial windfall for Trump, just the merch. I saw other people selling the merch too. It's a public image, so because it's a mugshot.
The one I use for the thumbnail, I might clean up and put on a shirt.
Fuck yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Uncle Adolf, who says we recorded Chris Christie eating. Yes, it's a funny video from Nick Ocado, Christie's face superposed. Chris Christie's fatter than that.
Yes, he is. If something happens to him in prison, I don't know what would happen. I don't think these charges stand up though. And that's this is part of why his polls have gone up, is because if you read the charges, you'll hear Democrats say, hey, you need to read the fucking please read the charges, guys. They are fucking ridiculous.
They're insanely stupid. I don't know how any of this shit got through, quite honestly, other than the fact that grand juries are full of tards.
That's exactly it. Because this was done through grand jury. So it's not like it had to be justified to your boss. Hey, I told you guys this many times. This is how prosecutors get away with these ridiculous, stupid charges. And they're like, wait, I didn't bring these charges. The grand jury recommended them. Okay. It was the grand jury's fault.
Did you see that Jim Jordan requested all the communication and information from Fani, especially contact with federal agencies?
I did. And yeah, I saw somebody, hey, this is political interference with prosecutions. I'm like, really?
No, this is oversight. That's why it's the judiciary.
Are you paying attention to what's going on in the case itself? How dare you invoke political interference, you fucking assholes? Alyssa says, are we supposed to think, look, he's getting his mugshot taken and he's going to jail and stuff, so he must be a bad guy? No. What you're supposed to do is look at that and go, oh, he might go to jail. I can't vote for him. That's what you're supposed to do.
And you're also supposed to shut up, because if they can do it to him, they will definitely do it to you. How dare you have an opinion that is not accepted by those in charge? You are politically wrong, and that's unacceptable now.
If they want to say that he did something wrong, bring a real charge. This isn't even election interference. It's conspiracy to commit election interference. Which, if you're saying conspiracy, you can call anything a conspiracy as long as you've talked about it with one other person. Like, this show is a conspiracy between me and Jack.
That's the worst conspiracy in history.
It's a better conspiracy than the one we're looking at on the screen.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. I retract my statement. Thank you, Evolved Potato. You guys are a great distraction from my pain. Got all 4 wisdom teeth pulled out yesterday, so now I hate the human body with all my being. On the plus side, ice cream for dinner, so that's something. Oh, yeah, that's good. Unless you're lactose intolerant, then you're going to be farting all night. Right. But I'm sorry you got your wisdom teeth pulled. I still have mine. They probably should have been pulled, but poverty. So that I've heard bad things. It kind of blows for the first several days. So hang in there. Things will get better. Make sure you take your pain meds.
Lady Monkey was in high school when she got hers taken out, and I remember how miserable she was. I still have mine, Jack, but I only have 2 wisdom teeth.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I was not gifted with 4. Apparently, I'm not as wise as most people. Which says a lot for the rest of you. God bless. Anyway, I want to talk about some of the people on the screen there. Donald Trump, of course. I mean, there's no reason for this other than they want to keep him out of politics. Thank you, Lancelot. I agree with what Razorfist said. America loves an outlaw. I've been saying that for how long? How long have I?
Forever.
I've used it as the point that we've lost our rebel spirit, but absolutely. Razorfist's latest video is called The Mugshot Heard Round the World. Yeah, he makes that point. You know, Jesse James. Jesse James was a bad guy.
He was a monster, but like Billy the Kid and Bonnie and Clyde, people loved him because of the mythos of it, the romanticism.
He points out, you know, there is nobody who likes Wyatt Earp more than Doc Holliday. You just can't, because Doc was funnier and more interesting.
Well, it was like Eagle said, it was the dime store novels.
Yes.
Those created the mythology that made these people legends. And that's what we're going to have with Trump. You are creating a martyr.
Yep.
And they either don't understand that or they don't care. But, of course, they also probably want some civil unrest so they can take guns away and crack down harder on their political enemies. So, I don't know. I think this is a terrible move that's going to backfire on them. But if it succeeds, democracy's over in this country. The republic's done.
And two dime store novels, I just want to point out, Razorfist also mentions, you know, the first outlaws in America were the founding fathers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's part of what...
We're rebels from the start.
The people that came here in the first boats were rebels. You had the political outcasts. You had the religious outcasts. People like the Puritans and the Quakers who came here with literally nothing and built up entire towns because they were so persecuted in their homeland, especially in the UK and the Netherlands, that they left their country to start civilization over so they could enjoy their beliefs and religions. So, yeah, that a lot of people that fled here, especially following that, were all people that were outcasts or wanted to start over. They hated their social systems, people that lived under oppressive caste systems. The people that wanted to do something or had ideas, they came here. They're the outlaws. So everybody here has that sort of genetic outlier of being different. And I think people respect it. They can spot their own.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Plus, I mean, there's just, it's easy to romanticize rebels. It's very easy to.
Yeah, well, the underdog, look at a lot of our media. That seeps right into that old media of like the vigilantes, the Dirty Harrys, the people there's a movie about the guy that made the automatic windshield wipers because somebody tried to steal the idea from him. So he's the underdog. They make entire entertainment out of that.
Let me get this. Monkey's FBI agent. Thank you so very much. I'm writing your obvious conspiracy down, Monk. I appreciate it. Transcribe the whole thing. Put it online for us. There's also, I mean, if you look at somebody like Jesse James, we're talking about at a time where Reconstruction was ridiculously unfair to the South. It was.
Oh, yeah.
They went too far. So somebody fighting back against that, like, yes, he's a monster, but finally somebody's fighting back against this shit. And if you look at our corrupt government system, I mean, I don't want to compare Trump to Jesse James because Trump might be cool, guys, but he's not as cool as Jesse James. He's just not. Jesse had 6 shooters, man. He's a cowboy.
Gold-plated 6 shooters, if you want.
He robbed trains, man. Anyhow, but that's when you have a system that is, let's be straight, fucking corrupt. then the person that it's aimed at, yeah, you're going to turn them into a fucking hero. What did you think you were doing? Oh, we're just defending liberty and justice. Justice, the rule of law. We saw that fucking phrase last night. Bitch is too fucking pussyfied to actually use Trump's name, even though they had no problem when it did come up. Rule of law, rule of law, rule of law. If you actually cared about the rule of law, you'd be calling this out. Chris Christie, you fat fuck. If you cared about the rule of law, you would look at this thing and go, Fani Willis needs to be fired for this shit.
Oh, yeah. But he's not going to because he's angry.
Mark Meadows is literally indicted for asking for phone numbers. What the ever-loving shit is that?
You know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I know that was a rhetorical question, but
it's political bullshit.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And look, I get it. You guys are running against Trump, but you know a way to endear yourself. Look how many people, when Vivek raises his hand, without any kind of hesitation, just straight up, big old smile on his face. That endeared him to a lot of Trump folks.
Yeah.
And Viking says, Vivek is the only one who didn't commit political Sudoku last night. Sudoku. Fuck me. Last night.
He was playing with numbers?
He was doing a numbers game. They were political Sudoku. Yeah, if you get the wrong line, they kill you. No, man, you want to know how you can... I said last night that I think Vivek won.
Yeah.
I can prove it now because god damn, they've all come after him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his
Holy
name is on everybody's lips.
And a lot of them, it's not nice shit. I had somebody send me a video of that dirty hippie who just yells right-wing talking points, the most extreme ones you can get. I forget his name.
That narrowed it down.
It's I forget his fucking name. I used to follow him and I got so annoyed. He's so annoying because he tells half truths, because of course he does.
Yeah.
And that's what he did with the Vivek thing last night. He points to an article from Fox News about when Vivek got a grant for college. That's what that grant from the Soros funded from that Soros Foundation was a grant to go to Yale, a $90,000 grant to go to Yale. And it's like, he was already a millionaire. He made $2 million that year. All right,
yeah, it's free money.
And they also say he made 1.1 million in the years previous. So basically, he made $300,000 each year. And see, he's a millionaire. Nah, it's not a millionaire. He gets the grant in March, $90,000 in March. But they use how much he made that year as proof that he was already a millionaire.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Not unless he got all 2 million that he made that year in January and February. But they're going for him. They're going. And then this dude, he also had an Alzheimer's drug that didn't work out.
So lots of drugs don't work out.
Apparently that's something to take him down over. What was the final thing? I don't remember but yeah, everybody's just coming for this guy. And why? Because he was the only one who was different on the stage. He was Trump on the stage last night. He's the only, and oh my God, I watched TYT. Did you see their coverage of this?
No, I don't watch that trash.
My God, somebody sent it to me. You know who they think did the best in this debate?
Nikki Haley.
Nope, wasn't Nikki. They give props to Vivek, and they said just because he was different, he's going to resonate with the Trump crowd. Okay, Ron DeSantis, but they said DeSantis because he was boring. I don't understand that either. The third person that they said, and yep, Evolved Potato just got it, Chris Christie.
Yeah, I saw Fox News pumping him up today too.
Chris Christie did it with his truth bombs.
I was hanging out with my parents earlier, and Chris Christie was on with Neil Cavuto.
Of
Total
course he was.
softball questions. They're kind of sucking him off for being mean to Vivek. And it's like, man, you guys are pathetic. This is sad.
He spoke to a grown-ass man who's almost 40 years old like he was a child.
Yeah, and called him Chat GBT, which isn't even a funny insult.
No.
Like you said, he sounds like an AI program?
Is that
racist?
Actually,
I don't even know.
You know who actually sounds like it? Christy. Go over to Chat GPT and type in write me a speech in the essence of Chris Christie where you complain about how Trump broke the law. And it'll sound
mention Chris Christie. That's pretty much generic anti-Trump spewing nonsense.
Well, what they really liked over there on the Young Turks was that when Vivek was saying he wouldn't send any more money over there, Chris Christie hit him with the kids who were dying.
It's called a war. Kids die.
Oh, sorry, but they got it wrong. He didn't even mention that. They do mention that he said that they were kidnapped, but later they mentioned dying. It's fucking weird. He hit him with the kidnapping and how they were being forced to fight their own parents.
Are they using child soldiers over there, or
not that I'm aware of?
I was gonna say, because I don't remember like 8-year-olds running around with AKs on the battlefield there. So maybe down the line they'll be fighting their parents, but there's a lot of brainwashing that has to happen in there first.
I go back to China. Yeah, hey, we gotta help the Russians. How much arms have we given to the Uyghurs?
Right.
I guess TYT doesn't care about genocides.
They don't care about a bunch of Mongolian Asians.
Apparently. They don't care. They don't care about genocides. I mean, if they did, they wouldn't have named themselves the Young Turks, for fuck's sake.
There's that too. I mean, what's a little genocide when you're trying to come up with a name for your show about politics?
Hey, those Armenians were bastards. Yeah. No, he eventually said that the Armenian genocide was bad. That is one of my favorite clips of Anna when she's trying to justify that bullshit, because Cenk forever refused to even admit it was a thing.
Yeah, because I don't think he actually believed it happened. He's a bit of a nut, so.
He's a Young Turk, man.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. Chris Christie is already a blimp. Why would they try and pump him up more? He's not Goodyear sized yet. They're going for Hindenburg.
They want him to blow up on the national stage.
Well, he is from New Jersey. You see, Hindenburg.
Well done. Yeah, you just don't want anything to blow up in New Jersey. It might set the whole place on fire. Place is a dump, literally. It's where waste management was dropping everything for a long time.
Yeah, it does have a lot of radioactive waste too. Which probably explains the Jersey Devil, but nobody wants to talk about that.
I just can't imagine anybody watching that and honestly believing Chris Christie did well.
If you hate Trump, then I could see that.
The only endearing part that he had was, this is after you left, Jack. They go into a lightning round. Mm-hmm. And there's these various questions, and Martha McCallum asked him, recently there have been a lot of hearings about UFOs and
UAPs, thank you.
They said UFOs. And Chris Christie said, I get the UFO question, really?
Yeah, because you're the ham planet.
That actually makes sense. But I mean, it was an endearing moment because he laughs it off, and the audience gets a good laugh out of it. But then he goes on to talk about how there should be not necessarily transparency. He said the president should tell you the truth, which I agree with, but I don't believe any politician actually agrees with.
Yeah, including Chris Christie.
Oh, metal. Fuck me, man.
That's not his name either.
Metal Minister. Thank you so very much. I'm 20 minutes behind in catching up. Happy anniversary to Monkey and his better half. Thank you so very much. It's very kind of you. I just don't like Chris Christie, and I think he had a bad showing last night. And yes, I am biased, but I gave props to many of the others when they were giving answers that were right, even though I don't.
No, I think he handled the UFO question fairly well. Probably could have been a little better, but it was funny. He
Yeah.
could be a funny guy when he tries, but he seems to just be wrapped up in anger and animosity so much that it's his better traits don't shine through.
And that's one of the problems he has in this race. Look, he's running on anger.
Yeah,
And
that's not healthy for anyone involved, especially
and that's
that big.
why you will see the left and a lot in the press, including over on Fox News, telling us how great he did.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to.
Because they hate Trump. And the stand-in for Trump, the pastiche, was Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
So they hate him too by just similarity. Outsider, doesn't fit in, isn't what they want. So yeah, they're gonna celebrate anybody that shits all over that.
Dragon Mage, it's your birthday. This
What?
one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dragon Mage. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you have a good one. I really, really do.
Absolutely.
I don't know how old you are, but there's a good chance I banged my wife on the day you were born. I'm just saying. Is that too much information?
I borderline.
Look, man, it's my anniversary. There's a better than average chance that we banged.
You know your daughter listens to this, right?
My daughter has anniversaries. She's married, although she's still a virgin. She has 2 children from sitting on a toilet seat where he had, he'd done his thing and hadn't cleaned up properly.
He touched his dirty parts and
yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. She's still a virgin. That's just what happened.
Sure.
All right, so fuck. Let's move along here. Moving along. Just to finish this off with the mugshot. Way to give him a win, you fucking retards. The other 3 prosecutions were smart enough to go, you know what? We don't really need a mugshot. They all did that. New York did that. Both of the ones from Jack Smith did that. But this fucking Fani Willis chick, she's like, no. Thanks so much, Keldrick. Monkey finally admits to abandoning his child. I didn't say that one. I didn't say if I bang my wife on his birthday 9 months later isn't the same day. How dare you? Anyway.
Yeah, he didn't say it was his kid. He just said he had sex that day.
I said I banged because I was being polite. Anyway.
We banged.
Fani Willis just had to have this. She was going to be, this is how you know this is just escalating.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do the whole 9 yards.
And the sheriff seemed real eager to do the mugshot too.
Sure.
That smug little smile he did. So yeah, I'm not surprised by this at all. At least it's a good photo.
Yeah, it's not a bad photo at all. And his hair's gone back to being blonde instead of orange. I don't know what that was even all about. So yeah, he doesn't look that bad in the photo, honestly. And yeah, the least you could have done is like smudge the camera so he couldn't even get a good mugshot and use it for press and merchandise.
Yeah, no, I don't think they really thought this one through.
The mugshot collection looks like it could be an album cover. It absolutely could be.
Yeah. Oh man, if he did like a poetry reading recording about his time in the joint, even though it was like 23 minutes, I would absolutely buy it. Like the Shatner style where he's just like doing spoken word.
Shatner style meets the movie CB4. I would totally buy that. For those who don't know, CB4 is about Chris Rock. He has a rap group and it's not going well. And then he goes to jail for like 10 seconds and comes out as a gangsta rapper. Gangsta rapping Donald Trump. I would buy that even if I never listened to it.
Right? Yeah, Frost had mentioned a rap album too. I think it should be spoken word poetry. Make it very 70s. Have a turtleneck on while he's doing a music video. I don't know if you ever saw Shatner's spoken word album. It is It's a delight.
I've heard parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that. Yeah, his cover of Iron Man. Yeah, but that's something else.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. Latest album from MWA, Magas with Attitude. Well played. You know what? That would make a perfect meme if anybody wants to get famous right now.
Yeah. You could put like a do-rag on his mugshot and put the MWA right across the top. Thank you, Tyrai. By the left's rules, they can't hate Vivek because he is a minority POC.
No.
He's Asian and he's got the wrong politics, so that makes him white supremacist adjacent.
Dude, you can't make this shit up. He was actually accused of being part of the alt-right.
Yep.
NBC dropped a story today. I know I retweeted. Let me see if I can find that real fast.
Did they call him a Nazi in that?
I didn't read the article. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's bring up the little clip here. This is from NBC News about Vivek. Vivek Ramaswamy celebrates his immigrant family while pushing far-right border policies. It's deeply depressing to see that a child of immigrants, himself a person of color, would be lifting talking points from the neo-Nazis, one expert said. Closing the border is lifting talking points from neo-Nazis.
That's so fucking dumb. Like, have these people ever heard a neo-Nazi actually speak?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious because they're so dumb. They have this idea in their head that they've crafted from the internet, from other morons, probably on Reddit or Tumblr, of what a Nazi actually is. It's a scary boogeyman, but it's not anything as bad as what real Nazis are. It's just this sort of nebulous mean person who says mean-ish things.
Did you see the clip that I tweeted out just before the show? You probably skipped it because it's Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So the Atlantic writes an article about Vivek Ramaswamy, and in it they say that he says that there were agents on the planes on 9/11, which isn't what he said. They on the Joe Rogan show, he's got Dave Smith. I don't know if you know him. He's a comedian and a libertarian, very vocal libertarian on Twitter.
I think I've seen him before, but I can't pick him out of a lineup.
I think it's him on the show because I'm with you now that you said that. I'm like, was it Dave Smith? They play a clip of Crystal Ball talking about it.
Oh God,
which has the actual audio from when he supposedly said it. I want to play that, Jack. I know you're not a Joe Rogan fan, but don't worry, he doesn't talk that much.
Yeah, if he does, I'm going to fall asleep, and I don't think you need me snoring on him.
And that's that's fine. Oh yeah, it is Dave Smith. Okay. I should have read the tweet because it says it in the tweet. That would have helped me not look like I'm a doddering old man here.
Well, it looked better if it was Dave Coulier.
Probably not. I mean,
yeah, because then they could have made some Tanner jokes.
All right. So in the middle there, that is Miss Crystal Ball. Seriously, how did you end up in news and not on a stripper pole with that name?
No shit. Your parents hated you.
Anyhow, so they're going to be talking about the quote. Here we go.
After our interview, The Atlantic released the audio, more than 4 minutes of it, actually. And here is the part with that quote that was in question.
What is the truth about January 6th?
Is that too loud with the background noise?
Yeah, but you can't really do anything about it. So
I can turn it down slightly because
turn it down. You won't hear what he's actually saying.
All right, guys, just adjust. I'll do my best not to talk during the clip part there.
What is the truth about January 6th?
I don't know, but we can handle it. Whatever it is, we can handle it.
But
government agents, how many government agents were in the field? Right?
You mean like entrapment?
Yeah. Absolutely. Why can the government not be transparent about something that we're using? Terrorists, or the kind of tactics used to fight terrorists, if we find that there are hundreds of our own in the ranks of the day that they were, I mean,
Well, there's a difference between entrapment and a difference between a law enforcement agent
I
identifying
think I think it is legitimate to say how many federal agents were on the planes that hit the Twin Towers. Like, I think we want it. Maybe the answer is zero. Probably is zero, for all I know, right? I have no reason to think it was anything other than zero. But if we're doing a comprehensive assessment of what happened on 9/11, we have a 9/11 commission. Absolutely, that should be an answer the public knows the answer to.
No. Okay. There it is. That's what he said. He even says the answer is zero. It's probably zero. I have no reason to think it's anything other than zero. Does that sound like he's saying that there were agents on the plane?
No, but he said there might have been, Monkey, and that's bad.
He was using it as an analogy for what happened on J6.
No, analogies are forbidden.
And they really are.
Yeah.
And all he's saying there is we should be able to be told how many agents were in the fucking field that day. How many were out there in that sea of people that report to the FBI, that report to the ATF, Homeland, the Capitol Police, the DC Police. How many people were in there that weren't actually dissidents, that weren't insurgents? How many of them were from the government? He said there were probably agents on the planes. Not even close to what he fucking said.
No, but, like Frosted said, this is a lame attempt at a gotcha.
And
people are too lazy to look it up.
Yes. Dragon Mage, thank you. Have you heard about Bill SB 533? California's pushing to stop employees confronting shoplifters. Have not. I'm not shocked.
Me. Yeah. No, this is good on Joe Rogan for playing this, even though, everybody's asleep by the time he played it. It's still nap time. But good on him for playing it, because more people will hear the truth from him than they're going to from the mainstream.
Well, they also point out in this, I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, she said the Atlantic released audio of this, all 4 minutes of it. How much audio did she play? It wasn't even a full minute. And I get it. She's trying to weed it down to just what they were talking about. But there's obviously something before and after this that is still related. It's not like right before this, they were talking about what they had for lunch that day. Like, yeah, I had Taco Bell. What'd you have? By the way, did you know there were agents down there in the field? They didn't release everything, or she didn't play everything. And she still goes on to say that he was quoted properly. No. Jack, will you talk for just a minute?
Yeah, I dropped the link to that full 4-minute clip of Rogan. So if you guys want to watch it or, download it for future reference when you're arguing with a moron who doesn't actually do any research, you'll have it available. So I'm sure the full audio is out there somewhere, but with the Atlantic, you just never know. So good on Rogan. This is so disingenuous, the shit these people pull. It's so lazy. And they think everybody's stupid, which most people don't have time to investigate, but they're not stupid. They just kind of trust the media for some reason. Sad. Sad, I tell you.
I forgot to unmute. I just wanted to jump ahead a little bit so we can hear this part from her.
Well, the truth is, he did say it. The quote was accurate, and it is on tape. And yes, this is how the media works. You get quoted for things you say accurately.
Out of context is not accurately.
It's not. No, just because you quoted what they said does not mean that's accurate. How many times, sorry, Jay, how many times have you and I said something on here where we are in the identity of somebody we're talking about? Like Chris Christie going, I love me some Taco Bell. Well, now you can quote me as saying, I love me some Taco Bell. But if you don't put in there that I'm doing a character of Chris Christie, you didn't tell the truth.
Yeah, the clip may be accurate in a sense, but it's missing the context that's necessary to understand what the clip is about.
Yeah.
So just because, yes, that person said those words, that doesn't make it accurate.
He literally said there's no reason to believe there were agents on the planes on 9/11.
Exactly.
They don't play that part. They don't quote that part. That's not accurate, Crystal. And dear God, she has gotten dumber since she married that fucking retard.
Well, the fact that she admits that this is what the media does tells you how ineptly corrupt these people are, because they don't even see the problem that they're creating.
Yeah, she accidentally tells a very good truth there. Speaking of truths, this is what the media does. This is absolutely what the media does. This is what I've told you guys so many times. They can lie while telling the truth. He said this. Yeah, but and yes, he absolutely said those words, but you didn't put any context around it, which makes you a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And then they come back and like, hey, that's not what we said. It's what you said. It's what I said, but you have to have the fucking context to get it right.
It's why they got sued by Sandman.
Wait, that was Crystal Ball? Yeah, that's Crystal Ball. Yeah, she's turned into such a retard ever since she married Kalinsky. Have you seen him lately? No. His hair is like all white now. He dyed it white.
He dyed it white?
Yeah, he looks like a retard.
It's weird.
But you're right. This is exactly what happened in the Sandman thing, where he was face to face smirking with Nathan Phillips.
Aggressively smirking.
Oh. But when you don't put in the context that Nathan Phillips purposefully walked through that crowd and that most of the other kids moved out of the way, and Nathan was like, sorry, not Nathan, Nick was like, nah, fuck you, man. And
well,
he just stood there and smiled.
They left out the fact that he was an activist. They just went with anything he said, and they didn't even talk to the kid for the longest time or play the extended clip. They made it look like he approached this helpless old native man who was just doing his heritage thing. No, that guy was an activist who started some shit with some random kids because they saw some MAGA hats.
Yep. He could have easily, because the story was that he was trying to get up to the Lincoln Memorial. Oh. And those stairs are pretty wide. The group of those kids only was in the middle of it, and he could have gone to the left or the right and gone up there with no problem. He purposefully went through the middle of them. And the only reason we know this is actually because some black Israelites, thank you, black Hebrews, are standing down there causing problems all day long and recorded the whole thing.
Yeah. And it's good on them because they actually did record it.
Yeah. They got it all on tape, and the media repeats the lies about Nathan Phillips without ever checking into his background about how he's a Vietnam War vet. No, he wasn't. He entered right as the war was ending, never went to Vietnam.
Yeah, what they call those are Vietnam era vets. Mm-hmm. That's distinctly different category.
He happened to have been signing up right as the war was coming to an end.
Yeah, my dad was in the Army before the war started, he got out right as it was starting to really pick up. And he's a era vet. My uncle was in Nam. He's a Vietnam vet. And they have very distinct classifications for that shit. The vets don't fuck around with that stuff. So it was disingenuous all the way around.
Yeah, my dad was a Vietnam War vet. He was actually over there. He was on a minesweeper in Vietnam.
Did he piss off some brass or?
No, he just entered the Navy. He'd only been in for a few years. And that was his. He didn't get to go on the U-boats like old John Kerry and get to shoot a kid in the back with a 50 cal. You're so brave, John.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. He doesn't tell that story anymore after it came out what actually happened. Anyway.
Probably claimed a Purple Heart for it, too.
Right. I got a paper cut. I need another Purple Heart. And then threw away his medal and claimed no, I didn't. Bitch, you bragged about it.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, no, I threw away something, a representation of it.
Uh-huh. Where is it then, John?
Hey, he doesn't have to show that.
You know who else doesn't show their medals? Richard Blumenthal.
Yeah. Oh God, what else do we want to talk about tonight? Oh, for those of you who are fans, I'm actually really looking forward to this. Today, Jack, should be what I think they do it on California time, 9:00. Tom McDonald has a new song coming out with.
I thought you were going to be all excited about the Nicki Minaj and Call of Duty.
Nah, fuck, I don't give a shit about that. But it's Tom McDonald, Adam Calhoun, and Dax. My favorite compilation, or what are they called? When they work together, is Dax and Tom McDonald. Their songs when they're together are fucking awesome. Adam's not bad, but yeah, that's dropping today, ladies and gentlemen. So check that out. Just saying, I'm a fan, Jack. I can promote stuff I like.
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to be like, hey, don't promote my shit, man.
Well, I mean, he hasn't listened to the show yet, so.
No, I have actually interacted with him one time, which was cool. I got a strike on my Dummies video that I did where I did the review of it. Not a strike, sorry, a copyright claim. And I just reached out to him going, dude, is this real? And he answered me back. He goes, it is real, but it wasn't supposed to happen like that. So just let me know what video it was and I'll get it taken care of. And sure enough, it dropped off.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah, he really nice of him to. He didn't have to do that. He could have fucking ignored me. He has a lot more fans. Collaboration. That is the word I was looking for. Collab. Yep. You guys are right. My brain just went.
Well, he was looking at you and thinking, I don't really want to mess with this Chinese dude in a monkey hat.
You know what? He probably's like, holy shit, this is that guy that fucks with Ted Lieu. I don't want to fuck that up. I don't want that coming after me.
Dude, you got to get this released. He'll Lieu you.
Yes. Tom McDonald's cringe as fuck. If you feel that way, that's cool, man. But for those of us who enjoy him, it's coming out today. And this is actually a collaboration I really want to hear because I like Adam and Tom's collaborations. Adam just goes a little too trying to be gangsta, which is fine, I guess. But him and Dax, man, I love him and Dax together. Blame the Rappers is one of my favorite fucking songs. And the one that they did, this actually Dax's song, but Tom's on Propaganda. Oh, it's fucking great. That's the one where he said, went to sleep, woke up in Nightmarica. Nightmarica is, I love that fucking phrase.
Oh, I don't really listen to the hippity hops.
I know you don't. There's several in the audience who just were like, yeah, I know that song. All right. I hesitate to play this one for two reasons. One, it is cringe as fuck. And two, I'm not sure how the audio is going to do. So if we can't watch it, I'll drop a link for you guys. Yeah, that's the background noise already. Let me know how bad this is, Jack.
Hola?
Should we skip it?
It's pretty loud. Nah, it's worth playing because of the stupidity of it.
It's 2.5 minutes. Most of what I want to see is about here, and I don't mean to be pointing to her boobie.
Don't you? You could probably turn it down a little bit because she is fairly loud.
Yeah. And we can always tell the audience what's being said. The lady on the left is the mom. The lady on the right is her daughter who started taking testosterone.
Her daughter / hostage.
And her at the beginning part that we skip here is mom asking her, hey, you've been on testosterone for 4 weeks, I think is the date that they're going with. And hey, anything that you like about it? And she's like, nah. Anything that you don't like about it? Nah. Apparently she's had a couple of issues with it that she doesn't want to talk about. Sounds like injection site issues. But they don't get more into it than that because this kid doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, probably because mom gets the wire hangers out and is like, No more disagreements.
All right. And sorry about the background noise. It's not my fault. All of these people can't figure out how to fucking record stuff. But we'll do our best here.
So, like, it's the anxiety of doing it.
This is the end of them talking.
Yeah. A little bit of a struggle bus. Don't want to talk about it?
Obviously not. How do you have a kid and they're talking like that and you don't understand they don't want to talk about it?
That kid looks like this is a hostage video.
The first minute and a half of this kid, like, I don't want to be here. Now, the kid does perk up. They do perk up when they start talking about, which is coming up, this kid going to school. Because school is starting around the country for a lot of people, including for this kid, where they're going to school for the first time as a boy.
But you start school next week?
Yeah.
High school with testosterone. So you're going to be, like, on an equal playing field with all the other, like, pubescent boys.
Wrong. That's not how puberty works. One, the boys can stand up to pee. I mean, that's a minor one, but I'm just throwing that out there. I guess she could, but it's gonna leak everywhere.
Well, I mean, gross.
But look at that face. Look at the face of the kid. All right.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It looks excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things to look forward to with that?
No.
No. What's the one thing you are really looking forward to with your testosterone? Like the impacts?
Voice change and visual.
Voice change and visual. By the way, that voice change, you're still going to sound like a chick. You're just going to sound like a chick who smoked.
Yeah, like 5 packs a day smoker from like the 40s. It sounds artificial. It doesn't sound like a male voice 99% of the time.
Keldrick, you have no idea. You have no idea if you haven't seen this. Keldrick, thank you so much. He says, don't fucking lie to your child like that. This woman is abusing her kid by doing this. You have no idea.
Yeah.
The rest of this gets really disturbing. Frosted Glass, thank you so much. This is why their Minecraft rates are so high. Yeah. This is a mom who just wants to get famous off their kid doing this.
Yeah.
That's
Look at how the mom's looking directly at the camera. The kid looks disinterested. It's the mom smiling and constantly like, oh, me. This is about the mom. This is fucking Munchausen by proxy. Or as the Gays Against Screamers calls it, Transhausen by proxy.
Yes. Ebony asks how old this kid is. They're going into high school, so they're either 14 or 15. And maybe they failed a few times and could be 16. Most high schools in the U.S., you're going in ninth grade. That's 14 years old. 14 to 15.
More studly beard like your dad? Yeah. You're gonna be so much hotter than him.
Bitch said what?
That's creepy as shit. But look how the mom maintains eye contact with the camera while saying shit like that. And then smiles.
Look at the smile on her face.
Yeah, this is all about the mom. This is sort of narcissism you'd expect from Munchausen by proxy. It's all about her. She's like, look how stunning and brave I am raising this trans child. And the kid, I don't think the kid wants to be there at all.
You should not be talking to your teenage daughter about how hot she's going to be as a boy. And especially not, you're going to be hotter than your dad? What the fuck?
Creepy, man. I hope that kid doesn't get stuck in any dryers.
Right? And I'm a little worried about the look on the kid's face too.
Yeah.
I feel like a wellness check is in order here. Anyway.
I think I'm going to keep it like shorter so not quite as
You're not getting a full beard. Look at your baby face. Please.
Most trans men don't get full beards.
No, they get the starter beard that like
Yeah.
14-year-old boys get.
They get the My First Beard by Kenner.
Yeah.
Is Kenner still around?
It's an imprint of Hasbro now.
All right, by Hasbro.
It's doubly like a.
Not quite that short. Not like here.
It's gonna look like somebody gave you a gorilla mask. It's gonna look like you have pubes on your face.
Yeah, like when I always think of Beavis and Butthead when they got haircuts and it glued hair on their faces.
Yeah. That's what it's gonna look like 99% of the time. Most people are not gonna look like Buck Angel.
No.
Just saying. All right.
Yeah.
Clean.
I dig it. It's a hot look. Yeah.
It can be really hot.
You are going to be really hot. It's really exciting.
She's all wet. Look at her. You're going to be really hot. It's exciting. Oh.
All right. Your child, if we're going with real dysphoria, has body issues. And you're telling them right now, we'll put the pedophilic part of this away for a second. You're telling them right now that they're going to look really hot with that beard. What happens when that beard doesn't come in full, Jack?
Yeah. Good question.
You just gave them more body issues, you fucking horrible bitch. Now, the other part of that. Why, as a parent, are you talking about how hot, not attractive, which would still be a little bit much. Nothing more subtle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna look handsome. Wait, why not that? Hot? The fuck is wrong with you? Jack, I have 3 children. You know what adjective I'd never use to describe them?
Hot?
Hot. The only way I'd do that is if I was telling my wife, the oldest had to go inside. She was a little hot. It's that sun out here is just bright today. It would only ever be used in the context of heat. Not the heat between her legs. Why the fuck would you use the word hot with your children?
Yeah, it's super creepy.
Jesus Christ. You're gonna look hot. I can't wait till Dad goes to work. Fucking nasty bitch. I hate these people, Jack.
As you should.
With a burning passion. Yeah, you're abusing your child and you're using them for clout. You're using the abuse of your child for clout. You're up there with Daddy 05 in my opinion. All right. I don't care about that. I mean, I guess I should have addressed this when we were talking about the Trump thing. Catherine Brodsky. This bitch annoys the shit out of me. I don't know why I follow her. Donald Trump Jr. was pimping out the merchandise.
Yeah, like he should, you know.
And in his tweet, he says all of the funds from this will go to the legal defense fund for Donald Trump. And she said, why does he need a legal defense fund? I thought he was a billionaire. He's not Scrooge McDuck.
He's got money vault monkey. You just don't understand. He swims around in it all the time.
I don't know if any billionaire is actually sitting somewhere with $1 billion in cash. It is all tied up in real estate and stocks and bonds and investments in different businesses.
No, they have it all in one account at a bank. So if that bank ever goes under, they're completely wiped out.
Yeah, that's what. What the fuck? They have maybe a couple 100,000 liquid, maybe 1 million. He's got 4 cases going against him right now. You know how fast $1 million is going to go?
Oh, very quick. He's probably going to have to sell a bunch of stuff just to pay his legal bills.
He's not asking for donations. He's saying, hey, here's some merch. And if you like it, a plus is that this is going to help the defense fund. It's not coming to me personally. It's going to the defense fund.
Yeah.
This is people who are buying. Why? I've seen a lot of this with the campaign. People going, hey, don't donate to these people. They're millionaires. I kind of get that. But in this case, we're not even talking about a donation. We're talking about a purchase.
Yeah, you get something for it.
Fuck do you care what they do with the profits from that? It's none of your fucking business. I thought he was a billionaire. He is, and he wants to stay one, you idiot.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. You know what? It is possible for you to sound like the other sex, but it's incredibly hard. It takes a lot of voice training to even sound kind of like the opposite sex. These people, phone. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. Put the effort in that real trans people do. Oh, they don't put the effort in. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it does require a lot of vocal training, especially to lower your voice like that for a woman. It's going to take a lot of things to make that into a habit, and most people aren't going to commit to it. Let's be honest.
But even then, like you said, it's a habit. It's not actually your voice changing. You're purposefully using a different sound to your voice.
Yeah.
It's like Dylan Mulvaney talking like this. That's not how his voice actually sounds. If he talked normal, he wouldn't sound like me because I have this beautiful, deep, sexy voice, but he would sound like a dude. So I get what you're saying, but again, it's not the voice actually changing. It's you purposefully doing it.
Yeah,
And
their voice does change a little bit, but it's not nearly what actual puberty would do to a male.
Have you heard Buck Angel talk?
Yeah.
Or speak, I should have said that. Oh, bad English there, monkey. Buck Angel sounds like a 90-year-old smoking woman.
Yeah.
And that's no slam against him, but that's what he sounds like. Anyway, Mofo says, shit, does she not realize people want to help out in some way? Insert I'm doing my part meme here. Yeah. That's the other part of the, hey, you want to buy this stuff? Look where the profits are going. Why do you care? Oh, because I thought he was a billionaire. Aha, we caught him. He's not really a billionaire. No, dummy. The same reason that people donate to anything where the folks are actually rich. Fuck off. That was a stupid question, and I understand why Tim Pool started banging somebody else and pushed you to the side. Because even he was like, "Damn, she's dumb." No, I don't know that they actually banged. That's just me being a dick.
I don't think Tim Pool. I'm not gonna finish that.
Look, man, Tim Pool. One of the accusations from his ex co-host was that he kept catching him, in compromising positions with other people's girls.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
chicks have weird standards.
Tim's a pussy magnet, man.
Shut up. Never say that again, please.
Tim's a pussy magnet. I'm gonna put that on a shirt and send it to you.
Oh my god.
That way you always have toilet paper when you go camping.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm never wearing that.
It's just like the Destiny thing, man. And several stars in Hollywood before them, just like Harvey Weinstein. People forget there were women who willingly slept with that man.
Or as Andrew Tate said, Epstein.
Well, Epstein at least had his hair nice, and he was a thin gentleman. I mean, he wasn't as nasty as like a Weinstein, right? Or sorry, yeah, Weinstein.
Yeah, Weinstein's just a slob.
Just a fat slob. He looked like when him and Oprah are there, it's like white and black are the same person. Same stubble. They're just a fat slob. But people slept with him because he had power and money, and he could get them stuff. He had clout. And and I say people because there are rumors that dudes bang that guy.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's some dudes who went down and that's how they got their jobs. I don't know that that's true. That's just rumors.
That's probably true. Who we kidding?
Probably true. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you can look at some of these creators and go, why would they ever look at their sub count? That's why. That's why. Dude, I was watching, I keep forgetting his name. This new guy I've been watching who was really just fucking with like the Tates and stuff. And in this one, he was talking about the Fresh and Fit thing. What's his name? Duke the Don. That's his name. Duke the Don. He does like 2 to 3 hour streams, often on just a single topic. And he was going over the new ABBA and Preach video because ABBA and Preach are enjoying the shit out of Fresh and Fit getting demonetized. And they make the point in their video that ABBA and Preach got hit with a bunch of bullshit copyright strikes from Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
Fresh and Fit tried to destroy their channel. So I have no problem with them doing a dance because they got that Fresh and Fit got demonetized. In their eyes, like, hey, fuck you. You tried to do this to us. There's a website you can go to see how much people have earned on Super Chat.
Really?
ABBA and Preach start their show in late 2020. So they've been around for 2.5 years. They've made 1.5 million in Super Chats in that time.
Wow. Yeah, take 30% for YouTube. That's pretty good.
And it comes out to about $600,000 a year, and you have to realize most of that is back-ended. The front end of it, there wasn't that much until the audience grows.
Yeah, of course.
So there's probably $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 sitting in their what's it called? Google AdSense. Yeah, sitting in their AdSense account that they can't get.
Oh,
yeah. And apparently this happened right before their payout, so it's like a full month worth.
Wow, that's a big kick in the nuts, man.
I get the people who are celebrating though, because a lot of them that are they got strikes from those assholes who bragged about it when they were on Tim Pool's channel.
Yeah,
and they knew for a fact that they were doing false copyright strikes.
Oh, they didn't care. It's amusing to people like that when they're the ones doing it. But when they're the victims of it, then they get all bent out of shape. Like, how could this happen to us? Karma? I don't know.
You can quote Monkey saying Tim's a pussy. I've said Tim's a pussy many times.
Excuse me. He's a fence-sitting pussy.
Yeah, fair enough. Fresh and Fit could have lost their whole damn channel for abusing the DMCA. Yes, they absolutely could have.
Yep. They're lucky they didn't, actually.
Yeah, and frankly, they should have. Because and not because they're Fresh and Fit, because too many channels do this and get away with that shit. And it's clearly in the rules if you file a DMCA, it's right there. It tells you.
Yeah.
So they knew it.
There is often a fundamental misunderstanding of what fair use is, too. Because people get all bent out of shape about somebody else criticizing them. And they say, well, that's not allowed.
If they wanted to use the community strike, I would still disagree with it, but at least then they'd have some kind of case. They were mean to us. But they went for the DMCA. And fuck you. That's a legal thing. You just promised you knew you in good faith, you believe they stole your content. And you know goddamn good and well they didn't. You knew goddamn good and well it was fair use. You admitted it. Fuckers.
That's a hate fact.
You mean Fresh and Fit? You said ABBA and Preach. I'm sorry. Fresh and Fit are the ones who lost their channel. ABBA and Preach are the ones who are laughing about it. Yeah, and ABBA and Preach are the ones who got hit with copyright strikes by Fresh and Fit.
And Fresh and Fit just lost a big pile of money.
Yeah, they did.
Because that's karma.
And the chance of them getting it back, look, nobody knows exactly why they lost it. But we can guess. And it is probably for stupid shit like running around pretending to be a monkey. Even though you're black, you were talking about another black person.
Yeah.
Having Nick Fuentes on your show for goofing off and doing the Hitler salute.
Yeah, it's going to be a culmination of things. It's not going to be just one thing typically. It's usually a pattern of behavior.
And there was no reason to get into that. You guys were making bank just embarrassing women. Why the fuck would you get into that shit?
Well, why would you give up on something that easy?
Yeah.
I love women.
Abba and Preach, they said it right. Stay in your lane. If they'd stayed in their lane, they'd have been fine.
Yeah, but people get arrogant and greedy, and sometimes they're trying to branch out and they don't really understand what they're branching out into.
Yeah.
Or they don't understand that audience as well as they seem to think. So it backfires on them. It happens, but if you have a successful program, is there really a need to change it?
Jeff says that's free speech monkey. Yeah, and I went over that when I talked about this originally. I don't want to see people hit for that. I think the strike against them, whatever strikes against them, I've never seen anything where they were advocating criminal behavior. The advertisers on YouTube have a whole plethora of options to make sure they never end up on their thing. Or I even believe that they should make it where, okay, you can't have advertisers, but you can still have super chat, because advertisers don't want to be associated with you, but your audience clearly wants to support you. I think that should be a thing.
Yeah.
However, if you're looking at the YouTube rules and trying to figure out why these guys got demonetized, that would be why. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that is why.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Hollywood is the gayest place on earth. I wouldn't be surprised if Weinstein partook in both vacuums and leaf blowers. I wouldn't either. Totally true.
I would say that they are the gayest pedophilic place on earth.
Yeah. They're not just homosexuals. They're homosexuals.
Yeah, if they can get their hands on a kid, they are happy.
It's Hollywood, man. There's a lot of fucking degenerate weirdos out there. Scummy place.
Black Romeo says, don't forget about that guy who bragged about raping women. Yeah, that fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Oh my God. They've had a couple of people like that on there where you're like,
Yep. Just stay in your lane. Just stick with the woman thing you had going on. You're in Miami. You have tons of those chicks around who are just looking for a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the Midwest and go to some, place where there's smart chicks. You went to Miami specifically looking for chicks with poofed up lips and big old titties and a big old butt so that you could bring them on there and embarrass them. And that's what you made your bones on. That's what you built your channel on. And then you're like, yeah, let's have a rapist and Nick Fuentes on.
Yeah.
What? Why? All right, fine. Look, it's your channel. Do what you want, but they're not going to give you that money back. And I now understand why they said 90, what'd they say? 90% of their money came in through YouTube.
That really is a really dangerous game to play when you're playing that kind of Russian roulette with your income.
Yeah. So, and they have their merch and stuff, but merch doesn't sell that well. Merch typically might be about 1% of your audience will buy stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, but still, you want to diversify that and have a nice selection of different products for people to purchase or peruse, and maybe you sell a couple, maybe you don't. Buy my books, linked in the description.
Well played.
Thank you. But yeah, it's you want to have some alternate sort of revenue stream, whether you wrote a book or you have t-shirts, also linked in the description. For both of us, you want to have that at least available, and then have like the Rumble channel or something like that that's monetized too, because you just never know when YouTube's going to change the rules on you.
DK says there's so much of that content now, though, they can't keep that stupid shit up forever. Okay. In that case, maybe the best way to go is not to go, all right, let's bring on a guy who's not only been demonetized, but completely kicked off the platform, been kicked off of every platform out there for his racist, anti-Jew views, and let him spew them on our channel.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake. And Understatement brings up a good point, too. They have a lot of people that work on that or air quotes, work on that show. Those are hanger-ons. They're just freeloaders. Get rid of them. They're dead weight. You don't need that many people to put that show together. Maybe you need a sound engineer. Maybe, I don't know. But you could have 1 or 2 people behind the scenes, but you have a lot of overhead that you're paying for no reason.
There are, according to Myron, 20 employees. Now, he doesn't say if the way he says it, it's hard to tell whether it's 20 total or it's 22 total, counting him and the retarded guy that sits on the right.
Well, let's assume it's the lower number.
Sure, 20.
Yeah, you
Why?
gotta pay all these people for what? What are they doing?
Why do you have 20 people on that show? You can run that show with 3.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they're big enough. Maybe they have a booker or a secretary of some kind
4.
that arranges stuff. So you got the 2 hosts. You've got like an audio engineer and a camera guy
5.
who's coordinating the video, and the secretary ladies. That's 5. I can't think of any other job that you need.
No.
Maybe you have an accountant, but that's just going to be something outsourced. You can use what's that payroll program you can get?
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I used to see ads all the time.
Yeah, there's several computer programs that can do your books that your accountant can look over and be like, all right, this works. Save these type of receipts. That's it. That's all you really need.
QuickBooks?
Yes, QuickBooks, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple others out there. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Tailfin and Beth. An editor for clips. I mean, you could do that yourself too. What do you do all day? You work for like 3 or 4 hours doing your stupid show. And you can spend an hour to make clips. You
have the video engineer who only works during the show. Have his ass do those.
Yeah.
Real quick. Eagle says he's never followed these guys, but if they're doing what we're saying they did, then he doesn't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him because this was, I mean, how could you not see that coming? Jack, you and I, occasionally, we've only had to do it a couple of times, but there's discussions where we're going to have, it's like, we can't be on YouTube tonight. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. There's absolutely situations that we've done Rumble exclusives because we can't talk about a subject on YouTube.
Yep.
And we're not taking that chance with the channel. That's stupid.
And
it's suicidal.
We're not agreeing with YouTube. We're just playing within the rules they gave us.
Yeah, that's why we go over to a different venue where we can say those things, express our opinions that are not okay on this platform. You have to understand that if you want to stay on the platform, you have to play within the confines of their rules. You can make euphemisms and allegories and analogies to an extent, but there are times when you just have to go to a different platform that has a different rule set.
Understatement says Myron seems like a prideful clout guy that always pays his crew. Rappers do it too. Best example of that, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
This dude makes bank after You Can't Touch This comes out. And ended up, what was it, 2-3 years later, fucking broke.
Yeah, he spent like $14 million on his house. All these people were freeloaded off him.
Yep.
It was really tragic. We saw that with a lot of people. Elvis was like that. He had all these hanger-ons that he was paying for, dragging them all over the place, buying them presents, buying them stuff, giving them money, paying for their apartments. It's a real problem within the music community, especially, but we're seeing that with YouTubers too, or other broadcasters.
Snooch says demonetization is bullshit because YouTube still advertises around those videos. It's just that they keep the money and don't give any to the creator. You're not wrong about that part.
Yeah.
But with the content that Fresh and Fit was doing, they weren't going to be running ads on that.
No. And one of my channels, I have a couple channels that aren't monetized, and there's commercials on there. I get none of that money.
Tailfin says it's really bad with pro athletes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime,
athletes are really bad with money.
Anytime you have a public personality with tons of money, you're going to have people at least try that. And it's one of the reasons the NFL started actual programs to teach these guys how to deal with their money when they get it.
Yeah.
And they've gotten a lot better, but it's still not good. Yeah. But yeah, so how you guys made that much money in that short a time, and you're acting like you're living paycheck to paycheck. You spent way too much.
Yeah. Did they not have rainy day funds? Did they not save any of their money? You should plan on this sort of thing happening if you can.
He shoots out of his home, and the guy who was leasing the house to no, you can't not hear anymore. So they were moving to a new home, and apparently the money that was supposed to be paid this month was going to pay the first month's rent over there.
Oh man, that is really poor planning.
Yeah. Live like you're broke. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen this with too many creators. They blow up and they just buy everything.
Live below your means. Also, like, share, and subscribe if you're feeling generous. You can toss us a couple bucks at the Streamlabs link in the description, pinned at the top of the YouTube chat, and sometimes going through chat.
Look, I'll be honest with you. If we ever blew up real big and started making serious money here, I would change, Jack. I would buy the really good ramen.
Yeah, I'm still not buying ramen, but I would eat slightly better, maybe some fruit and vegetables occasionally. Which is sadly a treat sometimes. Look, it's one of those things. You have to understand budgeting and living within your means. And people get extravagant and start buying jewelry and fancy cars. That's dumb. That's really, really fucking dumb. And YouTubers fall for this just as much as any other celebrity.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It is very sad. I don't like to see it, and I don't know that there's a cure for it, because anytime somebody gets in, we see this with the lottery. This is why, the curse of the lottery. No, it's the curse of dummies. There's tons of people who've won the lottery and didn't go bankrupt from it. But there's also plenty of stories where these idiots, they go out and they buy everything, and then they have nothing left to, pay taxes on it yearly. I bought a $10 million home. Do you know what the fucking taxes are on that?
Right? You know how much it's going to cost? Because $10 million home, you don't just have the taxes on it. You've also got maintenance, lawn care. You're going to have somebody come in and clean that place.
Heater, cooling in that. That's a big ass house, Jack.
Your electric bill is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's something you see, and it's when people get money rapidly like that. And yeah, it sucks. Look, I don't wish these guys to live under a bridge. I think they're idiots, Jack. I think what YouTube did here is bullshit, because I believe in free speech, but these are the rules. And how did you not know this? How did he's been kicked off every platform? He's been kicked off YouTube for doing shit like that. Anyway, let's move along, shall we?
Yeah. From these idiots to some other idiots.
Brazil High Court rules homophobia punishable by prison. Speaking of idiots, Brazil's Supreme High Court rule. Sorry, just court. I keep saying High Court like they're in a movie and they're villains.
Smoking weed.
Ruled. Well, smoking weed would explain this.
True.
Ruled Tuesday that homophobic slurs are now punishable by prison in a decision applauded by rights activists in a country with rampant violence against LGBTQ plus community. All right, time out. A homophobic slur is not the same as violence against gay people.
Oh, that's not true, Monkey. We've been hearing that for a couple of years now, that words are violence.
The 9-1 ruling puts homophobic hate speech on the same legal level as racist hate speech, which was already punishable by prison in Brazil. Jesus Christ. Fuck Brazil. I just throw that out there. You're punishing speech, and I will never agree with that. I just won't. And these guys are doing it by sending people to prison. Speaking of that, did you see Jordan Peterson lost his case against that college?
Yeah. He also is now mandated to take social media training.
Yes, because he was too mean on social media. So now to stay in the psychologist, the high order of asshole psychologists there in Canada, he's got to take special training so he can learn how to be nicer on on Twitter.
Yeah. Which I would take their stupid class and then just keep doing what I was doing.
Keldrick, thank you. When it's not Britain doing dumb shit, it's Brazil or Canada. Yeah, I fuck these people. The idea that saying you're gay is going to cause violence is stupid. I get it. You want people to be safe and stuff, but your feelings are not something that your feelings shouldn't be protected, Jack.
No, you're the one taking offense. It's not.
Yeah.
You just have to let words not hurt you, because sticks and stones break your bones. Words can never hurt you.
Ramos says that's what we get for treating Canada like a free country. Yeah, it's all those Canadians who argued with me when I said we're the only country that has free speech. No, we have free expression. It's written in our Constitution. Yeah, which your country wipes its ass with all the time. Just saying. So, look, it's the one thing I will give our country. I mean, so far, our high court has defended speech. That might not be the case all the time. Eventually, we will snap back to a more liberal court, and maybe they will give us hate speech laws, Jack.
Probably.
But until then, I'll at least give him that. Yeah, they have hate speech laws. If you actually read what it says in the Canadian one, it basically, you have free speech as long as we let you, unless we decide otherwise. That's not free speech, homie. That's a threat, is what that is.
Yeah.
What do you really expect from a Castro? I know, right? Oh, Lady Monkey's up.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Everybody act cool.
It's my anniversary, man.
I know. Everybody act cool.
Will you take over for a little bit? I'm gonna go say hi to her.
You can go bang your wife. All right.
Not during the show, no.
I know what you're doing.
I'm just gonna go see her and tell her happy anniversary and give her a kiss and a hug.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be back.
All right. Okay, over at the New York Post, the feds are suing Elon Musk's SpaceX for allegedly shunning refugees and asylum seekers. Biden administration sued Elon Musk-owned rocket and satellite company SpaceX on Thursday for allegedly discriminating against asylum seekers and refugees in hiring. You mean illegal immigrants? Oh my God, he didn't want to hire illegals? Shocking. Quote, the lawsuit alleges that from at least September 2018 to May 2022, SpaceX routinely discouraged asylees and refugees from applying and refused to hire or consider them because of their citizenship status, in violation of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the Justice Department said in a statement. Probably because they don't have proper paperwork because they're illegals. In job postings and public statements over several years, SpaceX wrongly claimed that under federal regulations known as export control laws, SpaceX could hire only U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents, sometimes referred to as green card holders, the DOJ added. Yeah, if he didn't hire those type of people and hired illegals or asylum seekers, as you're calling them, he would probably be in trouble for that too. You're screwed if either way. And of course, this is just yet another example of how they're favoring these criminal illegals over citizens and legal immigrants, the people that actually got the green card and did all the right work. They're fucking those people over the most in all of this. The laws bar foreign persons from being given access to export controlled items without approval from the State Department or Department of Commerce, but permits U.S. persons, including citizens, residents, refugees, and asylum seekers, according to the lawsuit. Immigrants had virtually no chance of being fairly considered or hired for a job at SpaceX, the lawsuit states, saying the company's hiring practices were routine, widespread, and longstanding, and harmed asylees and refugees. You mean any rando that walked over the border, including the Chinese people claiming asylum? The ones that probably are agents of the state and are just going to steal all the intellectual property, yeah, I won't hire them either. The Justice Department also pointed to online posts from the company's billionaire owner Musk as examples of discriminatory public statements. Fuck off. He's an immigrant. They know that, right? He was born in South Africa and he was a Canadian citizen. It's fucking stupid. The lawsuit cited a June 2020 post on X, formerly known as Twitter, by CEO Musk to his then 36 million followers that said U.S. law requires at least a green card to be hired at SpaceX, as rockets are advanced weapons technology. Yeah, why do you want non-citizens to have access to this stuff? This is stupid. An international conference in September 2016, Musk also said SpaceX hires requires special permission from the Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State to comply with international traffic in arms regulations, the suit notes. So maybe they misunderstood the rules and that you want them to hire people that are likely going to steal this technology and sell it to our enemies like China and Iran. That's brilliant. Good job, State Department. You people are fucking dumb. Several recruiters also cited the law to reject applicants. Maybe they don't know either. Maybe because this law is stupid and they didn't want to take that chance with national security, which apparently our State Department doesn't care about. Between 2018 and 2020, SpaceX hired just one asylum seeker 4 months after the Justice Department began investigating the company. Federal agencies such as NASA have awarded the company billions of dollars for contracts for communication and satellite technologies. Maybe some of these people aren't qualified too. SpaceX did not immediately respond for comment. Musk, a South African immigrant and naturalized U.S. citizen himself, is in the middle of other legal battles with the federal government following the $44 billion buyout of Twitter last year. This sounds absolutely like this is revenge because he bought Twitter and fired a bunch of the feddies that were there. A judge last week accused the Tesla and former Twitter CEO of trying to cozy up to former President Donald Trump by having lawyers for the social media company deny federal prosecutors access to his account. Yeah, because you guys don't respect privacy. Special counsel Jack Smith, who indicted Trump on 4 counts earlier this month for his efforts to over the whole election thing, sought private messages, draft tweets, and location information on the former president's account. And it kind of just goes into that from there. So there you go. Musk is in trouble because he didn't hire enough of the freeloading parasites that wandered over our border. Ridiculous. I'd show driver's license, background check, delay pipe at airport runways. Yeah. You have to do all this stuff, but if you just stagger over the dry spot on the Rio Grande, apparently you don't have to do anything except show up and they have to give you a job. They do love their witch hunts. You're not wrong, Ian. All right. Next up, also from the New York Post, Texas mom refuses to sign NDA to visit her child's public school campus. This is something, if you've got kids, you should be aware of, that they're trying to sneak through. They're tricking people when they sign in. Most people don't read what they're signing. And this is really fucking enraging. Yet another little bit of evidence that you should keep an eye on educators and we should abolish the teachers union. In a move appearing in direct contravention of First Amendment rights, a mother claims a public middle school in Texas tried to make her sign a non-disclosure agreement in order to be on campus. When Amber Longacre tried to visit Kitty Hawk Middle School on August 15th in the San Antonio area, the parent was approached by several school staffers who wanted her to sign an NDA, a legal document which prevents sensitive information from being shared, which is normally reserved for private employers who want to prevent leaks. Longacre immediately became suspicious as to why a tax-funded public building would curb free speech. There's no way to know how many parents signed the NDA without asking questions, Longacre told the Post in a statement. I share my story because I want to encourage other parents to speak up when something seems off. Several campus staffers, including the school resource officer, would not allow Longacre to enter the school to discuss the NDA, even though classes were not in session, Longacre's lawyer told the Post. They were like, just sign it. What's the big deal? Just sign it. Attorney Janelle Davis told the Post Thursday. What?
Sorry, I'm back. Why did they want her to sign an NDA?
So she could enter the campus.
I'm sorry.
Yep. That was it. Just, you can't talk about anything you see here.
All right.
Yep. The mom later met with Assistant Superintendent of Operations Joseph Guidry, according to the Daily Caller, who posted a video recording of the conversation made by Longacre. In the video, Guidry, whatever his name is, could not explain why Longacre was being asked to enter into an NDA and why the document appeared at visitor check-in kiosks at the administration building. This is a middle school. You're not walking into like the fucking Pentagon. It's not the CIA headquarters. It's a middle school in Texas. It's hard to understand why a school district would require students' parents to sign this NDA as a condition to enter the school. Aaron Turr, Director of Public Advocacy at the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression, told the outlet. Judson Independent School District cannot broadly prohibit parents from discussing issues or of information related to the school. After hiring a lawyer, the school district informed the middle school parent that the NDA was removed as a check-in requirement on August 22nd. This is after she started talking to the press, claiming it was a default document within the district's visitor system.
Time out. That would mean going into any administration building, going into the any of the schools in the system. All of that is public. Yes. That's all paid for by the public. You can't have an NDA on any of that stuff.
You can for the staff, but not for visitors. That's weird.
Sure. For well, even with the staff, it's got to be related to their job, not just.
Yeah,
you can't tell them
broad sweeping non-disclosure.
Yeah, you can't. That's for NDAs like that are supposed to be for things like proprietary information.
Yeah,
not hey, yeah, you saw somebody beat a kid here. You got an NDA, can't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm wondering what these teachers and administrators are doing, that they're hiding this behind NDAs that people have to sign, and how many parents didn't know what they were signing.
I would want a copy of that.
Yeah, though they won't give her one. So
yeah, I have no doubt. Because that makes
so be aware of that.
Really bad.
This is something that schools are trying to pull now. It's another sleight of hand tactic to keep you from finding out anything. Because this way, if you signed an NDA and you saw one of those crazy weirdo teachers with the pride flags everywhere trying to convert your kid, they'll be like, we're going to sue you because you're violating your NDA.
It does say a little further down that they agreed to revoke all of the previous NDAs by parents.
Yeah, but
that's nonsense. The fact that they did it in the first place, this is just standard operating. Have you ever been in a school and had to sign something like that to get in? No, I've been to some where you have to sign in. It's just a blank visitor sheet.
Yeah, so they want to know who's coming and going. But they're not like, you can't talk about anything you see here. Well, it's not Fight Club, dude. It's a school.
Or maybe it is. I mean, they're hiding something.
Maybe. They're definitely hiding something. Probably pervert teachers or something.
Probably, yeah.
I did it's just the last article there that I'm on. If you want, I'll go ahead and read that.
Yeah, that actually, I appreciate it.
Yeah. From Fox 11 Los Angeles.
Oh,
suspicious toilet with note hinting explosion forces evacuations at Americana and Glendale. One in custody. A suspicious toilet found at the movie theater left a stench for those forced to briefly evacuate from the Americana in Glendale. Sky Fox was over the popular Glendale hangout spot where the toilet was under investigation. According to the Glendale Police Department, someone left the toilet in front of the AMC, claiming it was going to explode. The note allegedly hinted that it was a bomb, or somebody took a big old pooper. One person was placed in custody at the Glendale toilet gate. Officials did not say what role the suspect played with the suspicious toilet. It's unknown where the toilet actually came from. The evacuation was eventually lifted as of 10 p.m. No injuries were reported. This was apparently some sort of art project thing that somebody was trying to do.
If they left an actual, because it said claiming it was going to explode, and then it said the note allegedly hinted that it was a bomb.
Yeah,
I want to see what the note actually said.
It was probably something along the lines of like implying somebody had explosive poops,
Right?
And some idiot misunderstood that and freaked out.
Well, I mean, you come across a toilet just sitting out in the middle like that. I understand freaking out a little bit.
Yeah,
But,
it's really weird.
Comrade Kitty, thank you so much for being a member for another month. I appreciate that. It says Taco Bell strikes again. Indeed.
Right?
If you eat Taco Bell, just carry a toilet with you. Yeah, this is just a weird one. And I hope those people that evacuated get their money back so they can see the movies that they were wanting to watch in full.
Yeah, this is going to cost the theater money because they end up, usually what happens, I was actually at a movie theater where somebody got hit with a hatchet.
Ooh.
It's in Tennessee when that happened. And they evacuated everyone, and there was a lot of conflicting statements as to when you could go back in. But the movie theater gave out free passes to everybody that hung around waiting to get back in. So you got free tickets to go back in. That's $10-15 a person. That adds up real fast.
Frosted ass think they were seeing Oppenheimer. Oh shit. Who was it the other day that left Oppenheimer because it was just talking? What were you expecting an action movie? It's a biopic.
Oppenheimer wasn't like a super spy or something. It's kind of dumb. It's just people talking. Oh my god.
Yeah, I forget who it was that did that. Oh, excuse me. It might have been one of the Paul brothers.
That sounds right. Somebody said Logan Paul. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, okay.
Would not surprise me at all.
It was just talking. Yeah, that guy's an idiot. All right, we're finally getting to this one, Jack. It's been on our to-do list for like 3 days. Stop it. I don't want to sign in. Pause. There we are. All right. I'm not signing in TikTok. Fuck TikTok. There's several people who keep telling you need to get a TikTok. No. Look, Spaces might be much smaller, but I would use Spaces way before I'd use TikTok.
Yeah. Fuck TikTok.
Judaism was polytheistic. What? Please do a TikTok on this. Oh my. Okay. Judaism is polytheistic. That's an interesting take. For those of you who don't understand what that means, it means Judaism was more than one religion.
Or more than one deity.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
Yes, of course, I would love to talk about this. Until about the 6th century BCE, or when the elite came back from Babylonian exile, Judaism was a polytheistic faith that synchronized with all other polytheistic faiths in the Levant, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece. Not only were we polytheistic, we were matriarchal, but
that was the bit that got me giggling too.
Okay. All right. Sure.
I'll get back to that in a second. Let me show you in the Tanakh all the places other gods are mentioned. First of all, though, let me point out that the commandments is thou shalt not put any other gods before me.
She has a point on that one. And I pointed that out before discussing religion, because even with Christianity, it doesn't say that there's no other gods. It just says don't put any before me. If you want to worship Zeus, by all means do it, but I'm the top.
But back then they recognized that there were other religions in the region, and that sometimes you'd be forced to acknowledge other people's deities. You just couldn't worship them.
You could even worship them as long as you saw the supreme God as being the God of Judea belief, and when you get into Christianity belief. By all means, worship Zeus as long as you recognize his bitch ass is underneath us. That's it. It doesn't mean that they actually were recognizing it as a god. It just, like you said, it just recognizes there were others that were worshipped. All right.
Yahweh just wanted to be Zeus. Not to mention every mention of God before.
Why does she keep doing that in quotes?
I don't know. It's very
Every mention
dismissive, I guess.
For the introduction of Yahweh uses Elohim, which is a plural word for gods. And don't you come in my comments being like, oh, in this case, it just meant one God, because literally and in no other case does that word mean a singular person. It meant a pantheon of gods.
Who are the others, sweetheart?
The Holy Spirit and Jesus.
I don't think so in Judaism.
Well, didn't level
Scholars
up.
agree that Yahweh is a late addition. First of all, why is his name?
Scholars agree.
Scholars should be in air quotes here.
Scholars should. That's where she should be using the air quotes.
Showing up before he even introduces himself to Moses. Second of all, if you read in Hebrew, basically they use his name to be like God. It's like,
I don't believe that she can actually read Hebrew.
I don't either. El means, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong, I'm sure somebody will correct me. El means God.
God, she said, okay.
Yeah, that's not exactly how I
all
understand.
Right, here we go. In order of appearance in the Tanakh, and I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher some of these names. In Genesis, you get Tiamat, Ninurta, Elyon, Shalem, and Sedek. Shalem might be familiar. We'll come back to that in a second. Exodus,
She circles
you get
back a lot.
Asherah, also known as Ishtar. In Judges, you get Anat. In 1 Kings, we've got Astarte, Milcom, Chemosh, Moloch, and Baal, also known as Hadad.
Yeah, these were all gods of other religions. There were they acknowledge there are other religions. The Dagonites are the ones that killed Samson. They gouged his eyes out and he knocked the temple down by knocking the pillars over. They aren't saying there aren't other religions. You just listed off a bunch of other people's gods. It's got nothing to do with what you're talking about. At no point were they ever like, no, there were never any other gods. I think you're thinking of the Muslims.
This actually, you and I have talked about different religions and stuff before. We've mentioned the God of the Hebrews. We've mentioned Jesus. We've mentioned Moses. We've mentioned who's prophet. Sorry, not God, but still. We mentioned Muhammad. We've mentioned all kinds of this. That doesn't mean we believe in them.
No, that we acknowledge that these are the mythology, for lack of a better term, of other beliefs, other faiths. Yeah. I could talk about Ganesh. Doesn't mean I'm going to go to the Buddhist or the Hindu temple and start praying to the elephant god. It's not how this works, you dumbass.
Thank you, Tyra. She's just repeating the atheist talking points, which does make sense because while she'll tell you she's a Jew, she also tells you that she's atheist. And yes, Jeff, I will be playing after this. I'm not sure how soon after this.
In Ezekiel, you get Tammuz and Shepash. In Psalms, we get Reshep. In Job, we have Yam, and then the monstrous Tannin, which are mythical creatures. And then in Chronicles, you get Dagon.
Yeah, so when they're talking about the mythical creatures, they're talking about them being mythical creatures. This bitch is
even
dumb.
if they're talking about like manticores being real, people actually at that time believed that shit was real. Just because somebody else thought it was real doesn't mean that the Jews were. They were just acknowledging that this was a belief that other people held. They weren't like, oh yeah, this guy said that there was a manticore and a centaur hanging out together, so that must be absolutely true.
Telvin says most atheists you see on social media are genetically Jewish. Most of the ones I see on there are just your Anglo-Saxons who grew up in Christian households and didn't like that they had to go to Sunday school.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she suffers from what a lot of people suffer from in the atheist sphere, which is they assume everybody in the past was borderline retarded. So, just because you believed in this one religion, obviously you were a sucker for all the others. So they must all be real too, because you're stupid. No, that's not how it worked.
But wait, there's more.
Of course.
I said that you might recognize the name Shalem.
You also told us that you were going to tell us about matriarchy, and you said that first, so I feel like you're doing this wrong. But go ahead.
That is the Canaanite god of dusk, as I spoke of in my last video. That is what Jerusalem is named for. But that's not the only city in the area named after a Canaanite god.
It was a Canaanite area, idiot. Why wouldn't they name it after? Oh,
for fuck's sake!
Hey, monkey, you live in Michigan. How many cities are named after like Indian tribes or
pretty much all
their
of them?
Words? Yeah. So obviously, their gods must be real too.
Yes, indeed. And
you're required to believe in them and maybe worship them.
The fact that I've talked about Chippewa, which is a name used around here all over the place. Obviously, I'm part of their tribe.
Yeah. I mean, the city of Delaware, Ohio is obviously owned by the Delaware tribe.
I fucking hate this one sometimes.
You've got Bet Shemesh, who is Shemesh, Jericho.
How many cities throughout Europe are named Alexander or Alexandria? That doesn't mean they're all Greek, bitch.
Yeah. No, they must be. They must be Greek. And they were all founded by Alexander, obviously.
Is Yerich, and Bethlehem is the goddess Bethel. Now, what did I mean when I said we were matriarchal? Well, it's right there in the name Israel, which actually just is a combination of the word Sarah and the word God. Because Sarah was in charge. Abraham had to do what she said. It's
okay.
You know,
right
Iran is translated in Farsi as Aryan. So
is it
obviously,
really?
Yeah, it absolutely is. So obviously, everybody in Iran is an Aryan.
Aryan, yeah, they look it
sense. Yeah, they are absolutely the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Adonises that Hitler sought.
Not to mention the last.
Wait, you're not going to tell us how it's right there in the book?
No, that's as far as her evidence goes.
Abraham had to do what Sarah said. It's right there in the book.
She said it's right there in the book and everything.
Does anybody know what the fuck she's talking about there?
Mashing two random words together that may or may not equal how they named this region. America's named for Amerigo Vespucci. So obviously he founded it. Fuck that Columbus guy.
Was it called Israel back then?
Well, that's how it's translated in the Bible. I don't know how it's done in Hebrew.
All right.
The last high priest of First Temple Judaism before the monotheists burned it to the ground, her name was Saria. If you go and look, they'll tell you that's a man's name.
But that can't be right?
No, because it doesn't fit with her narrative.
It can't be that it was a dude. All right.
But it is not.
No. Okay.
Saria means princess of God.
Notice she doesn't show us where this is from. This one's probably not even from her favorite source, Wikipedia.
It's probably from some rando's blog.
Sarah was Dad's favorite, and you can tell because he required men to be circumcised before they were allowed to fuck her.
Did that happen a lot? Was her dad pimping her out?
That's That's why God said to circumcise boys was so that, which by the way is done, when they're little, but everybody had to do it at that time because, you were already grown up. But that was so he could be circumcised before he banged her. Nobody who was part of this before God said, "Hey, cut the tip of your dick off," had banged any women.
No, they just sort of rubbed stuff together. They didn't understand how it worked.
They shot from across the room to keep the the population going.
Yeah, they were just throwing rope all over the place. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. The name Israel means wrestles with God because Jacob, aka Israel, wrestled with God. The Bible straight up tells you this when it happens. I thought that it was in there somewhere, but it's been a long time since I read the Bible, like a really long time.
No, it means God, Sarah. El Sarah. Israel. See? She got us on that one. This chick is a fucking retard, man. All right, one more time.
Because getting circumcised reduces transmission and acquirement of STIs by 50%.
That's what God was doing. God was like, oh shit, they're getting herpes. Cut off the tip of their dicks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And STIs, I mean, God was really advanced. I mean, he didn't even call them venereal diseases. It was STIs.
Yeah, he would straight up say that.
We are a polytheistic matriarchy.
You're a retard.
You're a polytheistic matriarchy.
Cope with it. Jesus fucking Christ. Look, you and I aren't religious.
Not particularly, no.
I'm agnostic. I don't know what you claim. But I am so tired of people doing this shit to religions. If you don't like the religion, leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, just don't go. You don't have to try and transform it via mental gymnastics into something it's definitely not.
Unless they're fucking with you, don't fuck with them. Why? El Sarah. And actually, she says it's Sarah God. I have an issue with the idea that God would be putting Sarah on the same level as him.
Yeah.
That
would be
doesn't even make
weird.
sense.
Yeah. I could understand if she said it translated to like daughter of God or something like that, but
yeah.
And then that would make more sense for the city to be named that. A lot of cities have feminine tense. So fine, like boats are usually named women names. Same with cars. That's fine, but that's not how she's presenting it. And she's just so historically skewed, borderline illiterate, to where she doesn't understand stuff and she believes the most outrageously stupid shit. It's entertaining every time, but it's just sad at the same time because she's influencing people.
D.S. was medicine even known about how diseases were transmitted then? Not in 6th century BC.
No, they might have had some general inkling that if you're around a sick person, you could get sick, but they thought it was bad air. They thought it was bad spirits. And, your fire element was out of alignment. It was very, very primitive because they're trying to make sense of things they didn't understand without technology. They didn't have microscopes to see germs, so they didn't understand germ theory. They're making the best of what they had with what limited information they had.
Nut says, but here we are watching her. Well, I mean, we watched Chris Christie last night. Is that any better?
Yeah, let's face it. We talk about a lot of dumb people.
Well, they make good content because they're dumb.
Yeah.
And I can't help it. I like laughing at stupid people.
I know. I love it when in the chat the pagans are correcting her on Judaism and Christianity.
They get this stuff so wrong in their desperation to undermine these religions. Just leave them alone.
Yeah, I don't go around fucking with the Celts or anything because I mean, I may not be a follower, but I can respect your religion for that's what you're doing. As long as nobody's getting hurt, I don't really give a shit.
It's amazing how many times we've had to correct people on this stuff, and they're atheists. I read it. No, you read some asshole on the internet who told you that, and you take a verse or two of the Bible without reading any. It's almost like watching that clip of Ramaswamy earlier. No context around it. Like, see, it said this. It didn't, but you're a retard. The fact that you don't pay attention to the fact that it literally is talking about gods other people worship, not that Jews believe in, you fucking idiot. But I mean, she can't even figure out Rome was a place.
It was a place. It was a circus.
It was a circus and bread.
Yeah.
I'm always so curious about that bread part.
Well, bread and circuses. I mean, you went to the circus and you bought a loaf of bread.
I guess. I mean,
some people get the turkey leg or the steak on a steak.
I like popcorn.
Other people get some bread. Bread was a main source of food back then because that's what poor people ate. That's all you could afford. You could afford no steak. You're a peasant.
You can't afford the circus if you can't afford bread.
Shh, that's a hate fact, sir.
Especially not with coins that didn't really exist.
Those were tokens.
No, she tells us those are fake. Those are all fake. Those have all been made since the Spanish Inquisition.
No, that's how you played Roman skee ball.
All right. The bakeries in Rome must have been awesome. No shit.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. And the Lord said unto them, she hath more infections than a Wuhan lab. So I command thee to snip thy tips, else thee be itching until the rapture. Exodus 5:17. I think you're paraphrasing, but thank you, Frosted.
I think that's almost a direct quote.
That might be. That might have been altered during the Council of Nicaea. I'm not sure.
She's talking about how Abraham fathered Isaac and Ishmael. Islam is the result of Sarah not believing she could get pregnant in her old age and sending Hagar to sleep with Abraham. Fair enough.
The Viking? Hagar the Horrible?
I might have pronounced that one wrong. I know all the other names. That one is not as familiar.
No, you probably got it right. I always hear Hagar, I think of Hagar the Horrible.
How you bang a bitch named Hagar?
Well, they didn't know about the comic strip back then.
I guess, yeah. They didn't realize that was a dude. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That just insulted some religion there. I apologize.
Probably, I don't know.
Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us today. Thank you so very much for the donations and all the wishes of happy anniversary. I really do appreciate that. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some really cool videos. As always, thank you so much for the donations, tips. You guys are awesome. Yeah, that's really all I got. You guys are awesome, and we appreciate you coming out and supporting us.
Jeff says, Monkey, this could have been 4.5 hours if you played the Tucker Trump video. Again, I watched it and I was trying to see, Jack, what can I even add? And there's a lot of it that I just couldn't. I'd be stopping just to fill in stuff so I wasn't stealing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it that way.
I do recommend everybody watch that.
Sure,
because it was pretty interesting and it had some really good points in it. But there's a lot of stuff that's just stuff we've already talked about to death.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be over on Ranting Monkey Games here shortly, playing probably Phasmo again. I'm just having too much fun with that game right now. And I'll probably be alone. I think my good friend Bubba's probably sleeping right now. Lots of probablys there because I'm bad at my job, Jack. I don't have schedules and stuff, and that makes it really hard to, lock shit down.
Yeah, it happens.
Guys, thanks for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Ranting Monkey Games in just a little bit. Hope I see you there. Thanks for watching. Everybody take care of yourselves. I love you. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I do a song at the end of the show. It's your clue that it's time to go. I hope you're not paying too much for that hoe. And don't put your dick in her booty hole.